Human metapneumovirus, HMPV, is a mild respiratory virus that can occasionally cause pneumonia, serious illness in extremes of ages. Very young, very old, severely immunocompromised. It is similar to other respiratory RNA viruses like flu, respiratory syncytial virus, COVID, and you cannot distinguish among these viruses based on symptoms, clinical exam, or x-rays. You can do viral testing because in medicine it is equally important to know what it is not. The images from China are scary, but when you see people wearing masks in China, that is not unusual. They do that for pollution. When you see the kids getting seriously ill with a mild virus, that should teach us how to deal with these viruses. China had a zero COVID policy from March 2020. So kids who were born around that time, for the first critical 2 years of their life, have no experience, have no immunity how to deal with these mild viruses. We hope and pray that these effects on immunity are not long lasting, does not impact the development, and by 2026, 2027, it should be over. There is no vaccine against it, there is no treatment for it. It will not become a pandemic because the virus is going on for about 60 years, and in the world there should be adequate herd immunity against serious disease. Pandemics typically happen every 100 years. Now it is true that people travel a lot more now. Still, for a virus to become pandemic, it has to, lot of bad things have to happen together. If the virus spreads too quickly, then it will run out of its victim, exhaust its victim quickly. If it is mild like Omicron, then who cares? If it is serious, it kills its victims, then it is breaking the chain of its own propagation. If it makes its victims sick enough that they are not able to go out and spread the virus, then it cannot become a pandemic. And now, what we have learned from the previous experience is, if suppose this virus keeps multiplying, and while it is multiplying, it mutates, and it becomes more serious, and it escapes, and it comes as a new pandemic. It's less likely, but if something like this happens, we know what to do. Can we do a mRNA vaccine against it? We can. But in the age of social media, to make a safe, effective vaccine, it is not possible. So universal vaccination will be very difficult for a new illness. But what we could do is we can quickly identify a monoclonal antibody, make stock of it, and go after serious illness in high-risk people, like a surgical strike, and let the life go on. Means there are the icebergs that can sink Titanic come once in 100 years. But the captains who can sink Titanic are all around us. We have become so hypersensitive, so scarred by this pandemic, that any viral news we start Googling. At times, we should ignore it, not fan the flames, and see if it goes away on its own. Remember, knowledge may be power, but ignorance is bliss, Dr. Ravi Godse.